NBA 2K rating recap for March 1st, 2026. We got 11 games that we're going to recap, starting off with the New York Knicks, who ended the Spurs' 11-game winning streak 114-89. Mikal Bridges leading the way with 25, Jalen Brunson adding 24. Mo Diawara off the bench had 14 points in only 15 minutes. He was 4 of 13 from 3 in this one. Notably playing over Jeremy Sohan in this game against Sohan's former team. He's 33 of 83 from 3 on the year, which is 40%, and taking those at 7 attempts per 36 minutes. So there is a little bit of shooting ability there, which has not really been the case for Sohan in his career. So I would say that DOR is probably going to be ahead of Sohan on the depth chart, probably for the rest of the year is my guess, unless Sohan can kind of turn things around with his shooting. Going over to the Spurs. So I have DOR as a 74 overall, +1, by the way. Spurs, they dropped to 43 and 17. Womp womp. Still chasing the Thunder for number 1 in the Western Conference. Wemby leading the way with 25 and 13 and 4 blocks. Devin Vassell, 18 points. Castle, 13. De'Aaron Fox, 7 points, only 3 for 10 from the field. Backcourt for the Spurs, not really getting it done in this one. Going over to the Bulls, where they end their 11-game losing streak, getting a 120-97 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. So Josh Giddey had a massive triple-double in this one, 20, 14, and 10. Got the start more or less at small forward, as Trey Jones started this one over Colin Sexton. Trey Jones, 13 points, 6 assists in this one. Sexton off the bench, which is probably the role he's better suited for, 22 points. Modest Buzelis added 20. He's been starting at the 4, just kind of due to injuries, even though the Bulls would really like to play him as a 3. Yabusele has been the starting 5. He had 12, 7, and 5 with 3 steals in 23 minutes. Kind of crazy how he was completely unplayable with the Knicks just a couple weeks ago. Leonard Miller, 15 points in 27 minutes off the bench. He's getting a real look from Chicago down the stretch. I've got him at a 73 overall, +1. Only 5 minutes for Rob Dillingham in this one. He's just not going to get any charity minutes now that Josh Giddey's back. His minutes have more or less dried up, even with the absences of Jaden Ivey and Anthony Simons. Maybe they should send him down to the G League or something just to get him more of a longer look. Milwaukee, they dropped to 26 and 33. Rough loss for them. They need to capitalize on opponents like this if they want to make the play-in. They're currently 3 back of the Hornets. Only shot 37% from the field, 28% from 3 in this one. Bobby Portis leading the way with 18 points. Cam Thomas, 15 points, 3 for 11. And Kevin Porter Jr., 10 points, 4 of 16 from the field. So sometimes those guys are going to have erratic shooting nights like that. Cleveland, they got a solid win over the Nets, 106-102. They're now 38 and 24, holding on to a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. James Harden back in the lineup after missing a couple of games. Mitchell and Dean Wade still out for Cleveland. A near triple-double for Harden with 22, 9, and 8. Evan Mobley double-doubled with 17 and 13. Jarrett Allen with 20. Dennis Schroeder went back to the bench, 12 points, 5 assists. And then Keon Ellis made his return after missing a game. Had 3 steals and tied his career high with 5 blocks in 32 minutes. So 8 stocks for him. It's more or less why they traded for him. So good stuff from him. Going over to Brooklyn, kind of the same story as usual for them. Michael Porter Jr. leading the way with 26 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, but he just doesn't have any help whatsoever. Nick Claxton, Yegor Doman, and Drake Powell were all out for this one. Nolan Traore provided the next best scoring on the team with 17. Actually, no, that's not true. Danny Wolf, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists in 27 minutes off the bench. He's been, at least if nothing more than a reasonable source of points. I don't know how well this would play on a team with actual aspirations, but he does provide a little bit of volume scoring at the 4. And then Grant Nelson, who I still have not added to the game yet. I'm waiting for 2K to add a bunch of missing players right now. He played his second game already with the team. He's on a 10-day contract. He had 11 points, 3 blocks in 20 minutes. Similar to Drew Timme last year, the Nets may have found a keeper at the end of their bench, so I expect that he'll probably will stick around the rest of the season. Obviously, these are not his ratings. I just renamed the all those dupes that I have in the. I used to have them not named as like two ways. They're just like placeholders. I just want to have them in the game, so it's a little more aesthetic to look at. Just my reminder to add them to the game once 2K gets around to it. If 2K could get around to it, that would be ideal. Going over to Minnesota, they moved to 38-23 on the year with a huge win over the Denver Nuggets. Game had massive playoff implications as the Wolves and Nuggets came in tied for fourth place. So overall, there just was a playoff atmosphere to the game as well. And leading the way with 21, Jaden McDaniels, he had 20. Rudy Gobert, 7 points, 15 rebounds, 3 steals, 38 minutes, and against one of his biggest rivals in Nikola Jokic. Whoa, I can't even talk right now. Dante DiVincenzo, 17 points, 5 of 10 from 3. I finally got around to adding his rating as well as the rating for Bones Highland. Bones had 18 points off the bench in this one, 6 of 7 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3, 16 minutes off the bench. Crazy how he was almost out of the league for like 2 years. Wolves went with essentially an 8-man rotation in this one. Mike Conley was DNP CD in this one. They went with Reed, DeSunmo, and Highland off the bench. So, yeah, definitely playoff feel to this game. I'm going to do my best to finish off Minnesota over the rest of this week. Going over to Denver, they dropped to 37-24 now, a game behind Minnesota for 5th. Nikola Jokic, 35, 13, and 9, 1 assist short of a triple-double, 37 minutes for him. Jamal Murray with 25, Christian Brown adding 15, but Cam Johnson, woof, scoreless, 0 for 6 from the field. Oh man, Nuggets are just trying to hold things down until Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson come back from injury, hopefully later this month. Worth noting, Jaden Pickett was also back from injury in this game, played 6 minutes. Going over to Memphis, they have a little bit of bad injury news. We're going to start off with Zach Edey is going to have a second ankle surgery, so that should officially knock him out for the season. He was still feeling pain in his ankle after the first surgery, so he's going to get a second one done. Again, this doesn't seem like it's a major injury or anything, but for a guy his size, you always have to, raise your eyebrows a little bit. He's 7'4", 300 pounds. Guys that size typically, have shortened careers due to knee, ankle, foot ailments. So hopefully Edey is able to overcome. He's going to end this year having only played 11 games. He averaged 14 points and 11 rebounds in only 26 minutes, so he was really effective during his time on the court. Had a 66 two-point percentage, so really effective shooting the ball on the interior. I would normally have him at a 99 close, but he's assisted on like 90% of his field goals there. But he's a hook shot specialist. I have legend on him. He takes a lot of those, and then gold on like post powerhouse, etc. He averaged 6 post touches per 36 minutes, if memory serves. So very, very extreme player. He's always going to be the most dominant inside player in pretty much any game that he actually takes the court on. As far as this game though goes, the Grizzlies beat the Pacers 125-106. So they have not been able to out-tank the Dregs. They still have some interesting players. Lots of good guards on this team, so they're able to, any team that can't play defense like the Pacers, they're going to blitz them. Walter Clayton Jr. and Scottie Pippen Jr. got the start in this one. Clayton responded with a career-high 14 assists, 4 steals, 7 points in 34 minutes. Omax Prosper, he had 17 points on 8 of 9 from the field. So I mentioned last week, or last show, that he was underrated. I've got him at a 77 now, plus 4 from where I previously had him at. 66 true shooting percentage on this season. He was only at 49% over his first 2 seasons, so he's much improved as a 3-point shooter and finisher. Jalen Wells also 8 for 9 from the field in this one. Those two guys obviously benefiting from the passing of Clayton. 18 points for him. Pippen had 16 points, 5 assists. And then Taylor Hendricks, another player who it seems benefited from the creation of Clayton. 19 points, 5 of 8 from 3. So good stuff from him off the bench. And then Ryan Repair. The list goes on and on. Indy did not play much defense in this game. Ryan Repair, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 33 minutes. He should end up with a more permanent spot on this team, currently on a 10-day contract. We'll see if they end up giving him a two-way or just sign him as their 15th man moving forward. But Ty Jerome, worth noting, he sat this one out, second game with a thigh injury. Taj Gibson also not yet available for Memphis. Who knows if he'll even play or if he's just there to hang out and be an extra assistant coach in the locker room. Indiana, they are still the second worst team in the NBA. They dropped to 15-46. Andrew Nembhard sat this one out. So Cam Jones got the start. He double-doubled with 10 points and 10 assists in 32 minutes. I do have him up to a 72 plus 1. Jarris Walker, 21 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. I would love to boost his rating up, but it seems like he has these. Every time he has one of these games, he'll go 1 for 10 in the next one. So more or less just kind of balances him out. 9 for 20 is 45%. So Micah Potter, 18 points, 9 rebounds for him. I recently boosted his rating in the last video. Obi Toppin, his second game back since returning from injury, but they are really holding him to a minutes restriction. Only 11 minutes for him. He played 8 minutes in the previous game, so at the very least, I did drop his stamina rating down a little bit. That's probably going to be the case for the rest of the season. Going over to Atlanta, they get back to 500 finally. Now 31-31 on the season as they blew out the Blazers 135-101. Jalen Johnson and Nickeil Alexander-Walker made their returns from injury. A near triple-double for Jalen Johnson, triple single, 8, 8, and 8 for him in 30 minutes. Jonathan Kuminga moving back to a bench role, but he was still really good. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 7 of 10 from the field in 25 minutes. So, oh man, I can't believe that the Warriors actually maybe messed this one up in a major way. We'll see if he ends up starting at some point, but yeah, he looks to be at the very least one of the 5 best players on the Atlanta Hawks. Onyeka Okongwu, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 of 12 from 3. I don't believe that's his career high. I think he hit 7 or 8 in a game earlier this year, but he's obviously been much improved as a 3-point shooter this year. The Blazers, they are trying to fight their way up in the play-in. Hawks, by the way, moving to 9th with that win, but they are only 2-4 since the All-Star break. Offense has been a struggle without Deni Avdija and Shaedon Sharpe. So, Drew Holiday, 23 points to lead the way. Donovan Clingan had 15 and 15. But Jeremy Grant, they rely on him for scoring. Only 4 points on 1 of 9 shooting. So, yeah, rough. They were not going to be able to compete with the firepower of Atlanta without him. And then Chris Murray, worth noting, he left this game due to illness, only played 4 minutes. Vit Krejci started the second half, and he actually played pretty well. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a little more of an opportunity in Portland since they acquired him. Going over to Detroit. They got a 106-92 win over the Magic. A very big win for them. They hold on to their number 1 record in the NBA, 45-15. Cade Cunningham with 29 points, 11 assists. Jalen Duren, double-double with 16 and 10. Tobias Harris providing some secondary scoring, 23 points. Duncan Robinson scoreless in this one, 0 for 4 from 3. Detroit was only 4 of 30 from 3 in this game, so despite their regular season record, I still have major playoff questions about how much, what it's going to look like when their shooting gets exposed a little bit. This is the final game of Beef Stew's suspension, so he should be back the next time they play, which is on Tuesday. Going over to Orlando, they dropped to 31-28. Anthony Black was out for this one, so Jalen Suggs returned to the starting lineup, but had a rough shooting night against the Pistons defense, 14 points for 17 from the field. Paolo Banchero, 24 points and 11 rebounds to lead the way for them. Tristan da Silva, 19 points. Desmond Bane adding 17. Javon Carter played 30 minutes in this one with Anthony Blackout. It's insane how this guy went from not playing for a lottery team to now he's the sixth man of a playoff team. Going over to Boston, they moved to 40-20 with a big win over their division rivals, the Philadelphia 76ers, 114-98. Neemias Queta leading the way for Boston, 27 points, 17 rebounds, 10 of those offensive, 3 blocks, 10 of 14 from the field. Nikola Vucevic likewise double-doubled off the bench, so just total domination by the Celtics front court. Sixers were without Joel Embiid for this one, although honestly the way Embiid's played defense this year, that may not have made much of a difference. But either way, those guys combining for 38 points and 29 rebounds. Whoa. Pretty crazy considering, nobody knew what the Celtics had in Queta at the start of the year. He averaged like 5 points last year. So if you run a sim of my career or my GM, my NBA, whatever it's called, he's going to win most improved player basically every single time. Because his stats have the largest improvement from last season to this season in a simulation. So yeah, Queta's been awesome. Jaylen Brown, likewise, he's been awesome too with Jason Tatum sidelined, 27, 8, and 8. Another really good performance for him. Derek White, 21 points and 8 assists as well. Philadelphia, they dropped to 33 and 27. Still about a game and a half up on the Heat for either the Magic or the Heat. I forget which one of those Florida teams is in 7th or 8th. I believe it's the Magic, actually. But no Embiid for them for this whole week, at least. So he's got a strained oblique. Tyrese Maxey leading the way in scoring, 33 points, but he was 12 of 34 from the field. VJ Edgecombe, 23 points, but likewise 8 of 21 from the field. Andre Drummond, double-doubled with 10 points and 12 rebounds, but in 32 minutes, for Andre Drummond, in 32 minutes, he used to grab 20 rebounds. So those are a little bit of a pedestrian line for him, especially when you consider the lines that those Boston centers had. The Boston Bigs just more or less outclassed him. He is 32, career sliding away. OKC, they are not slip-sliding away. They are continuing to climb ever since SGA came back. Now 47 and 15 on the season, 100-87, beating the Dallas Mavericks. SGA leading the way, of course, with 30 points. He has not missed a beat since returning. Chet, 19 and 9 with 4 stocks, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Dallas, they are still without Cooper Flagg, though he should be back during this week, I think. 21 and 29, they dropped to. Najee Marshall and PJ Washington were both out. So Caleb Martin led the way with 18 points. That's about all we're going to talk about with Dallas. Going over to the Clippers, they moved to 28 and 31 with a 137-117 blowout of the Pels, those feisty Pels. Kawhi and John Collins were both back in the lineup. Derek Jones moving back to shooting guard. Whoopsie, I didn't write down any of the anything from that box score for the Clippers. So let me just check real quick to see the lines. My big takeaway was that Darius Garland is going to be back for their next game. So actually not really much of note. Kawhi with 23. John Collins, 15 points, 7 rebounds, but 5 of 14 from the field. So not super efficient. He's capable of better. But yeah, they just kind of blew the doors off of the Pels. The Pels are not a good defensive team. Brook Lopez, solid line, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3 for 16 points. Derek Jones was likewise 6 of 9, 3 for 4 from 3 for 17 points. And then Jordan Miller, likewise super efficient, 5 of 6 from the field for 19 points. He was 8 for 11 from the field. Kobe Sanders, 3 for 4. Yeah, what did Clippers shoot in this one? 54% and then 47% from 3. Very nice. Only 8 turnovers as well. So yeah, they absolutely blitzed the Pels, who unfortunately are going to be without Zion Williamson for just a little bit. Zion had played in 35 consecutive games prior to this, his career best. So he's been really healthy for the most part this year. but he sprained his ankle in the last one. We'll see how much time he has to miss. So, but some good news: Trey Murphy made his return from injury. DeJounte Murray, I should say, he made his return. And I guess I didn't write down any stats for them either. I did write down Jeremiah Fears, but Murray, he had 17 in this one. Trey Murphy had 16. But Fears, he basically led the way with 28 points on 10 of 15 shooting, 5 of 6 from 3. So probably the most efficient shooting game of his career. Very nice to see. DeAndre Jordan continues to start, got his third consecutive start, but Derek Queen at least did get a little more playing time, 19 points in 29 minutes with Zion sidelined. And then, oh gosh, I was so desperate to hit record that I just forgot to do the stats for the last two teams. So, all right, Lakers 128 over the Kings 104. This game was pretty much over from the beginning. Lakers led the entire way. Luka, 28 points, 9 assists. Pretty standard game for him. LeBron, 24 points. Reeves had 12. DeAndre Ayton, okay. 12 points, 6 for 6 from the field in only 18 minutes. He's embracing that Clint Capella role. No other notes for the Lakers. Let's finish off with the Kings. Nick Clifford leading the way for them with 26 points in 42 minutes. Maxime Renaud had 16 and 13, double-double. Russell Westbrook made his return after missing a game or two due to a sprained ankle. Had 14 points, only 22 minutes for him. He's going to have reduced minutes down the stretch as they try to focus on developing Devin Carter. I mean, it took them long enough. And then Killian Hayes, over 2 from the field, now 1 for 15 through 4 games with the Kings. Nothing really else to pay attention to with this team. A little bit of league news. Only 4 games tomorrow, so I'll be able to focus a little more in depth on some of those teams. But Steph, bad news for the Warriors is he's going to be reevaluated in another 10 days. He missed all of February, has not played since January 30th. Warriors went 4-6 in February, so already without Jimmy Butler. So they are really struggling to score, but fortunately for them, everybody on Phoenix also got hurt at the same time. And also that's the case for Portland too, who's chasing them for the play-in. So it's just a kind of a slow crawl to the end for the 7 through 10 seeds in the Western Conference. But hopefully Curry is back before then, at least for the play-in, as they're definitely going to need him if they want to advance out of the play-in, certainly. 4 games for tomorrow. None of them are really noteworthy. We do have the Warriors up against the Clippers. It is going to be the debut for one Darius Garland. Houston versus Washington, Boston versus Milwaukee, and then Denver versus Utah, rounding out the rest of the games. So be sure to check those out tomorrow. And since we have a lighter schedule, it's going to be easier for me to focus a little more in depth on some of those teams. I do want to focus on finishing off Houston's ratings, as well as the Minnesota. We'll keep working on them. Thanks, guys, for watching. I will see you guys later tonight. Like, follow, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Thank you.